Around 6 months ago, I released my video, CODEBunny Makes Me Smile, and suffice to say, a lot of my opinions on the game still stand to this day. Ever since then, I've managed to be able to talk with the game's creators, learn that the highest rank in the game wasn't an A rank, and the full game has been released. And so, as a way to give back to the game that got me back into gaming, and brought my love for the hobby back, this will be my review of CODEBunny in its entirety. And before you rush to the comments, no, this won't change my regular channel's topics on my channel. This is just a one-off. The last one, I promise. Anyways, this is why you should play CODEBunny. A lot of my opinions from 6 months ago still hold up after the game's release. I still feel Hazel is my favorite way to play, with her Ghost Crescent still being as satisfying as it was all those months ago, and her version of bosses still being a joy to play. The way she can bounce off the top of enemies after dashing towards them and her 3-hit combos still feel really satisfying, especially with that sound design. Axel in my eyes is still the easy mode of the game, however I have grown a lot more fonder of the character, especially his personality. Also, in my first video I kinda called him a girl and had to be corrected by the game developers in my comment section. As you can see, I still feel the characters control nicely and are both a joy to play. Since the game's come out, I have seen some people say Axel is the Sonic character, and I couldn't agree more with that statement. He just flows really nicely. Now, of course, with the controls, there comes the levels, and how do they feel to play? Well, I'm happy to say that every level in this game is a fun experience, and I feel all of them are different enough where I can envision all of these being somebody's favorite out of the bunch, even though the only correct answer is Yokodo. Seriously. Axel and Hazel also got their own exclusive level to run through. In a lot of the videos I saw on Twitter of the game, Lavi had a lot of gameplay of Underpass, which of course is Axel's level. This stage's main gimmick is the rails that Axel can grind on, and I was really having fun with this level. Hazel's stage is Lagos Starship HQ. I can't remember, if I'm being honest. I hope that's the actual name. Where she must platform across various ships, making great use of the Ghost Crescent, might I add. But another stage I'd like to highlight here is Wonderland, because of the sheer amount of color on display here, and the hat gimmick, which I thought was really cool. Overall, for the stages of CODEBunny, I have to say there is not a single one that I didn't love, with Forest and Morag being my favorite lore-wise, due to the Nyx clan, and Yokodo taking the cake in every other category. The story of CODEBunny was one I was absolutely excited for. The demos did a great job leaving me with unanswered questions that left me intrigued and hyped for when the game eventually came out. And so upon booting up the game and running through as both Hazel and Axel, I have to say I'm impressed with how much there is here to unpack. Firstly, the story of Hazel and Shoko was beautifully handled here, and having the players play through the event that sent them both down these dark paths was a great bit of immersion. This entire section really tugged at my heartstrings a bit, and the dialogue really helped elevate that. Speaking of dialogue, depending on if you run through the game as Axel or Hazel, the dialogue and story beats will be different, so be sure to give them both a try if you want to experience the game in its entirety. Axel's character was significantly built up in this final release. In the demos, you can definitely tell Axel was a bit more innocent in nature as opposed to Hazel, where Hazel was darker, mysterious, and only treated her job as a soldier as, well, just that. Axel tried to use his position to change the mindset of the children under Mad Bunny, opting to see them as more than just the enemy. We also get an explanation for why Axel's VY unit is designed the way it is, and well, all I have to say is, it's a pretty wholesome reason. I'm not gonna spoil it for you all. No character here felt undercooked or underutilized, other than maybe Ralphie, and even then, you get to see and learn more about their character through the talk rooms, which are amazing by the way. Little stuff like that really helped to bring this whole experience together, and allows me to give CODEBunny's story a solid 9 out of 10. Of course, there is way more happening here, but if you want to experience this great story and game for yourself, I'll leave the link in the description for you to buy it. And it's for all these reasons why I recommend you play CODEBunny. If you're a fan of the MegaMan series or series like Sonic the Hedgehog, you'll have a great time. I know the game's main inspiration was GunVolt, but since I haven't yet played those games, sorry Violet, you got me addicted to MegaMan, I can't exactly comment on their similarities. And anyways, with all that being said, go play CODEBunny, and I want to give a huge thanks to Lavia Zur and Violetta Walnut for being so kind as to give me a free key to the game. They're really cool people, and I'd appreciate it if you could go support them and their game. Sorry for the short review, I had to get this one out quickly, but I do have a bigger video on this game planned for another channel, so be on the lookout for that. Anyways, with all that being said, again, I've been Just Quilted, and until next week, we'll be back on track, I promise. But until next week, later.